Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the Finance 360 sessions in which we cover all the relevant and important finance current affairs which are important from your examination perspective. So in today's session, I have brought for you the three news articles that we are going to discuss today. The first one is regarding the RBI that has directed the talk charge to stop the PPI. So what is the complete news article? Why the Reserve Bank of India has taken this step? So today we are going to understand this, as well as the RBI has found the unfair practices in charging of interest, and in this regards the RBI has released the notification. So we are going to understand that what is this notification, and you can see that this is also in the newspaper in the live mint. So this news article becomes important for us to discuss. Next is regarding the NABARD that has unveiled the climate strategy 2030. So how you can use this news article for your answer writing, I'm going to discuss this a little. Okay, so this three news articles today we are going to discuss, but before that there is a big announcement from EduTap that we have brought for you a never before offer. That is, the EduTap is providing you flat 50% additional 25% off on the courses, on these courses, and this is the offer that has been released for the first time. This is the biggest offer in the history of EduTap, and we have extended this offer for the 48 hours, that is till 5th May 2024, so that more and more students can get the benefit of this offer. Okay, so do avail this offer and get the benefit of this offer. That is in the first time of the history of EduTap that we have released such a offer. Okay, so this is for the RBI Grade B Gold and Silver combo, the NABARD Grade A Gold Silver combo, and the SEBI Grade A Gold Silver combo, as well as for the SEBI Grade A Test Series also. This is the offer that has been provided to you, and you can use the code SAVEBIG to avail this offer. Okay, so I hope you will be utilizing this opportunity. Now going to the news article, starting with the first news article. So the RBI has cautioned the public against the prepaid payment instruments that is issued by unauthorized entities. So there are the PPIs, that is the prepaid payment instruments that are being issued by the unauthorized entities. So the RBI has said that you should not be using such PPIs. Okay, so it has come to the notice of RBI that Talkcharge Technologies Private Limited, that is a company having its registered office in Haryana. Now this company is issuing the PPIs in the form of wallets through its website and its app without obtaining the required authorization from the Reserve Bank of India under the provisions of the Payment and Settlement System Act of 2007. So remember that the Talkcharge Technologies is issuing the PPIs in the form of wallets without getting the authorization from the RBI. So the RBI has released this kind of circular to the Talkcharge on April 2nd, 2024. Okay, so you can see that accordingly, the Reserve Bank of India has issued the directions to the entity, to Talkcharge, to stop the issuance and operation of its PPI or the wallets that it has released, and refund the balances that has been held by in the wallets. So the customers has got their wallets from the Talkcharge. So the Talkcharge has issued the wallets, has issued this PPI to the customers without getting the authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. So the RBI is saying that return the money of the customers within 15 days. But this timeline was extended to 45 days. That is by May 17, 2024, the Talkcharge has to return the money of the customers that is held in the wallets. Okay, so I hope you have understood the basic idea that the Reserve Bank of India has issued a circular to the Talkcharge, has issued the directions to the Talkcharge. Now in the directions it has been mentioned that the entities or the companies, they can release a closed PPI without the authorization of the Reserve Bank of India. That means there is a category of PPI that can be released by the companies without the authorization of the Reserve Bank of India. That is known as closed system PPIs. So closed system PPIs, they can be issued or operated without the authorization of the Reserve Bank of India also. So these are the PPIs that are in the form of vouchers, that are in the form of coupons. So in the direction that has been given by the Reserve Bank of India to the Talkcharge, in that it has been mentioned that you can use the closed system PPIs without the authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. So closed system PPIs, they are the kind of prepaid payment instruments such as the vouchers, the gift vouchers, the paper vouchers, the coupons. So let's say that there is a brand the cosmetic brand, that is Sugar, that is releasing a voucher for the customers, for its customers. Now this voucher can be used against the entity only, that is against the Sugar only. Sugar products can be bought through this voucher. Let's say that Reliance Mart, that is Smart Mart or something, so they are releasing the vouchers or they are giving the coupons. So that can be used against this particular entity only. So these are the closed system PPIs that do not require the authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. So these PPIs are issued by an entity for facilitating the purchase of goods and services from that entity only. So if Sugar is releasing a voucher or a coupon, so that can be used for the purchase of the goods of Sugar only. If Reliance Mart is releasing a voucher or a coupon, that can be used to purchase the products from the Reliance Mart only. So that is, if the closed system PPIs, they are in the form of vouchers, gift vouchers, coupons, and that can be used to purchase the goods or service from the entity that has released it. Okay. So cash withdrawals are not permitted. Transferring the money is not permitted. Using that money for some other purpose is not permitted. These instructions cannot be used for payment or settlement for third party services. That means you cannot use this voucher for some other product, some other service of some other brand. You cannot use this voucher for doing your recharges or for paying to some other merchant. That cannot happen. Okay. So the issuance of these closed system PPIs or the operation of these instruments is not classified as payment system requiring approval or authorization by the Reserve Bank of India. So they are not supervised or regulated by the RBI. So all the companies, you can see that different brands in the cosmetics, in the shoes, different brands release their vouchers, their coupons that can be used for that particular entity only, and that is allowed by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so what the Talkcharge is doing, the Talkcharge, it can also issue the closed system PPI that is not regulated, that is not supervised by the Reserve Bank of India, that is not require any authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. But the Talkcharge is not releasing this kind of PPI. The Talkcharge is releasing a kind of PPI that is in the form of wallets. So the Talkcharge is providing the wallets to its customers, and the customers using this wallet is able to do the recharge, is able to pay the bills. So that is the wallets, the Talkcharge wallets, the Talkcharge PPI can be used for third-party services such as utility bill payment or the recharges. So these transactions that is conducted from these wallets of Talkcharge using the Talkcharge wallets do not confirm to be closed system PPIs. And that shows that Talkcharge is actually operating a PPI, an actual PPI, without the permission from the Reserve Bank of India, without the authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. So any company, they can issue the closed system PPI without the authorization of the Reserve Bank of India. But other than this, if there is any other PPI like the wallets that are going on, okay, so for that the authorization has to be taken from the Reserve Bank of India, and Talkcharge for issuing its wallet has not taken the permission from the Reserve Bank of India. So considering that the Talkcharge is issuing and operating the PPIs in the form of wallets and such without a certificate of authorization from the Reserve Bank of India and under the Payment and Settlement System Act of 2007 has violated the provisions. So now the Talkcharge has to stop all its wallet and has to return the money of the customers, has to refund the balances of the customers that are the existing Talkcharge wallets has to be closed and has to be returned, the money has to be returned to the customer. So that is the whole news article. You needed to know about the closed system PPIs, that they are the special kind of PPIs that do not require the authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. Now there are further details. Now Talkcharge, what Talkcharge is doing is that the Talkcharge is sending legal notice to its customers that give the cash back that the Talkcharge has given on its wallet, the customers have to give that back. So it has come to the notice of the RBI that the Talkcharge has issued a legal notice to its customers demanding the return of the cashback. And the Talkcharge is threatening the customers that if you do not return the cashback, then we will tell this to the RBI. So you can understand that the talk charge is threatening the customers to return the cash back in the name of the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. So thus the entity, that is Talkcharge, has created an impression in the minds of its customers that demand for repayment of cashback is from the Reserve Bank of India, but the RBI has not demanded any of such thing. The RBI has only said that because the wallets are not authorized by the Reserve Bank of India, so the Talkcharge is not authorized by the Reserve Bank of India to issue the PPI. So this wallets are not actually the correct issuance that is happening. So that's why the RBI has said that stop the issuance of wallets as well as return the money of the customers that are present in the wallets. But the talk charge is telling the customers that give the money back that we have given you in the form of cashback, otherwise we will report you to the RBI. Okay. So that is creating a wrong impression regarding the RBI and the directions that have been released by the RBI. So it is clarified by the RBI that the RBI has only directed the entity, that is the Talkcharge Technologies Private Limited, to refund the prepaid amount lying in the wallets to the customers, that is return the money to the customers, because your PPI, your wallets are not authorized by the Reserve Bank of India. So that is the idea. Okay. And the members of the public are urged to exercise utmost caution while using the websites or the applications and parting with your money, because this is your money, and if you are submitting your money to an unauthorized entity, so they might run away with your money. Okay, because they are not authorized with the RBI, they are not under RBI, they are not following the rules of the RBI. Okay. The members of the public should verify and satisfy themselves that the website or application used by them that they are dealing with is authorized to carry out the activity it performs. And there is the list that has been presented by the Reserve Bank of India, where 89 entities are there that are actually authorized by the RBI to issue the PPIs. Okay. So we have discussed about the closed PPIs that do not require the authentication from the RBI, but the PPIs that require the RBI approval or authentication or authorization, they are the small PPIs and the full KYC PPIs. So small PPIs and the full KYC PPIs, you can read about this. This is just an additional information. So small PPIs, these PPIs are issued by the banks and the non-banks that are authorized by the Reserve Bank of India to issue such PPIs, and these small PPIs can be used for the purchase of goods and services only at a group of clearly identified merchant locations or establishments which have a specific contract with the issuer of this small PPI. Okay. Now, this small PPIs cannot be used for the fund transfers or cash withdrawal. So, the small PPIs, they are not having the full KYC. So, these PPIs are only allowed for the purchase of the goods and services at the merchant locations, at the specific merchant locations. The full KYC PPIs, these are the PPIs that have the full KYC, so they can be used for the purchase of the goods and services at the merchant location, as well as they can be used for the fund transfers or the cash withdrawal. So today we have discussed about the 3 different kinds of PPIs, out of which the closed PPI was recently discussed in the directions of the RBI. So closed PPI we have discussed the small PPIs and the full KYC PPIs. So this is some additional information. So now coming to the Fair Practices Code for the lenders charging of the interest. Okay. So the Reserve Bank of India has recently released this notification for all the commercial banks, excluding the payment banks, because the payment banks cannot lend. All the primary urban cooperative banks, state cooperative banks, district central cooperative banks, all the NBFCs. So for all of these entities, the Reserve Bank of India has released this notification because RBI has directed the regulated entities to review. So all of these regulated entities are asked to review their lending practices in line with the Fair Practice Code. After the RBI found that some of the lenders, some of the regulated entities, they are resorting to unfair practices in charging of the interest rate. So the Reserve Bank of India has released the notification for these entities, excluding the payment banks, and RBI has directed these regulated entities to review their lending practices in line with the Fair Practice Code. So they are not doing the unfair practices in charging of the interest rate. So RBI During the course of the on-site examination of the regulated entities for the period ended March 31st, 2023, the RBI came across instances of lenders resorting to certain unfair practices in charging of the interest rate. So these are some of the unfair practices that have been mentioned in the notification of the RBI, that some of the banks, some of the lenders, they were charging the interest from the date of sanction of the loan or the date of execution of the loan agreement and not from the date of actual disbursement of the funds. Let's say that today the bank has said that okay, the loan will be sanctioned, and from today the agreement, this is the date of agreement, that the lender and the borrower has come into the agreement. Now Saturday, Sunday is there, then let's say on the Monday there are some other documentation that has to happen, and from Tuesday the money is actually going to the bank account of the borrower. So you can understand that the loan was shown that the interest was charged on this loan. The interest was charged from the date of execution of the loan agreement that was actually signed on Friday, but the money that is going in the accounts of the customers is going on Tuesday. So similarly, in the case of loans being disbursed by check, the check was like, let's say on Friday, the check has been signed, and from this date onwards the interest was charged, but this check was actually given to the customer on Tuesday or Wednesday in the next week. So for the 4-5 days the interest is charged extra. So in the case of loans being disbursed by check, instances were observed where interest was charged from the date of the check, whereas the check was handed over to the customer several days later. So this was some of the instances where the money is not going into the bank account of the customer, but the interest has started to be charged. Okay. In the case of disbursal or repayment of loans during the course of the month, let's say that you have repaid the loan on 15th of March, but the bank is still charging the complete interest for the whole month of the March. So some regulated entities were charging interest for the entire month even if you have given the loan back on 10th of March. Then also you will have to pay the interest for the full month of March. Rather than charging the interest only for the period of which the loan was outstanding, no, the bank is charging the interest for the entire month even if you are giving the loan before the ending of the month also. In some cases, it was observed that regulated entities were collecting one or more installments in advance, but still they were reckoning the full loan amount for charging the interest. So these were some of the unfair practices that were found by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, that the money has not sent to the customer account, but still the interest is being charged from the date of execution of the loan agreement and such, or the check has been signed on 15th of March, but it has been handed over on 20th of the March, and still for this extra 5 days the interest is being charged. The repayment of loan has been done on 2nd of March, but still for the full month the interest has been charged. In some cases the one or more installments have been taken in advance, but that amount has not been cut from the full amount for charging of the interest. So these kind of instances were seen by the Reserve Bank of India when the RBI was doing the on-site examination. So these and such other non-standard practices of charging interest are not in connivance with the spirit of fairness and transparency while dealing with the customers, and the Reserve Bank of India has said that this is a serious concern. So wherever such practices have come to light, RBI through its supervisory teams has advised the regulated entities to refund such amounts, such excess interest and other charges to the customers. So this has been said by the Reserve Bank of India that wherever such practices have been done, the refund has to happen to the customers, okay, for the unfair practices, for the unfair charge of the interest. Regulated entities are also being encouraged to use online account transfers for the checks being issued in a few cases of the loan dispersal, so that the online system happens faster. Okay. Therefore, in the interest of fairness and transparency, all the regulated entities have been directed by the Reserve Bank of India to review their practices regarding the mode of disposal of loans, so that the loans are disbursed on the date and on the same date the interest starts to be charged. Okay, so as soon as the loan is disbursed, that is the loan is sent to the customer account, from that day onwards the interest should be charged. Application of interest and other charges and take corrective action, including system level changes, are required at some places. So that has to be done by the regulated entities. Okay, so this is regarding the fair practice code for lenders charging of interest. There are many instances that have been found by the Reserve Bank of India where the unfair practices are happening. So the Reserve Bank of India has guided the regulated entities to not do so and to do the system level changes. The last news article is regarding the NABARD that has released the Climate Strategy 2030. So in the significant stride towards the sustainable development. Okay, so sustainable development has become the focus in today's time. Okay, so the Reserve Bank of India has released the green deposits framework. The government of India is releasing the sovereign green bonds for collecting, for mobilizing the money for the green infrastructure, for the green projects. Now there is the NABARD that has released the Climate Strategy 2030. That shows that how much we are trying to lead our country towards the path of sustainable development. We want the development in our country. We want the growth in our country. We want the economy to grow. But at the same time, we want a sustainable development, not just development, but a sustainable development. So question can come on the sustainable development. So you must be aware about the green deposit framework. You must be aware about the green bonds that we have discussed in the previous sessions. Now you can add this also, the Climate Strategy 2030, in your descriptive answers. Okay. So the document was released by Sri Shaji KV, chairman of the NABARD, during the 78th business plan meeting held at Thiruvananthapuram. So the Climate Strategy 2030, this is not a very big strategy that has been released. If you see in the climate strategy, this is a one-page strategy only. And there are the 4 pillars that have been mentioned in this Climate Strategy 2030. So NABARD's Climate Strategy 2030 is structured around 4 key pillars to address the demand of sustainable development in the country. Okay. So accelerating the green lending across sectors. That means the NABARD is focused on boosting the green lending, that is lending for the green projects across the sectors. Okay, so lending for the green projects, playing a broader market making role. Market makers are the sellers for the buyers and are the buyers for the sellers. So let's say that you want to sell your bond. There is no purchaser. So the market maker helps you and buy your bond that you want to sell. And if you want to buy the bond, let's say, and there is no seller that you are able to find, so market maker sell the bonds. So market makers, they try to maintain the liquidity in the market. They try to maintain the liquidity of the financial instrument. So this market making role, the NABARD is saying that we want to play a broader market making role for the green finance, for the green lending. Okay. Internal green transformation of the NABARD also, as well as strategic resource mobilization. Resource has to be mobilized for leading the economy towards the sustainable development, because we have to convert our electricity that we are generating from the fossil fuels to the green electricity, we can say, or to the electricity that is generated from the solar power plants and such. So for all of these projects, for the green projects, for the green infrastructure, we require the money. And that money has to be mobilized. So our NABARD is saying that one of the pillar of the Climate Strategy 2030 is strategic resource mobilization. Okay, so these are the 4 pillars. Now I'm not going too much in depth because the Gurkira sir has already taken this NABARD Climate Strategy 2030 in his session. I'm only here to tell you that you can use this in your descriptive answer writing with the green bonds that we have discussed, with the green deposits of the Reserve Bank of India, and now you can use the Climate Strategy 2030 in your answers. Okay, so this strategic initiative not only reinforces the NABARD's commitment to the environmental betterment, but also positions it as a pivotal player in India's transition towards the resilient and sustainable economy. So NABARD wants to have a good role, want to have an important role in the India's transition towards the resilient and sustainable economy and the India's development in the sustainable manner. And for this, the NABARD has released its 4 key pillars under the climate strategy 2030 that the NABARD will be focusing on. Okay, so this is it for today's session. I hope you have understood the 3 news articles. Try to answer the first question. So see, the 3 news articles, you need to have the basic information. Direct questions can come from this, not much complicated questions, but direct question can come from these news articles. So this is the first question, very easy to answer now, I hope. Now this is the second question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. Which of the following entities is not under the purview of the guidelines that has been recently released by the RBI? The last question is regarding the 4 key pillars. So I hope you will be able to tell that which of the following are the 4 key pillars. Okay. And which of the following is not among the key pillar, that you have to find out. Now, before ending the session, there is an important announcement from EduTap that we have brought for you the comprehensive guidebook for RBI, NABARD and SEBI, so that through a single guidebook, you are able to get the information regarding the examination, the pattern of the examination, the syllabus that you have to follow, as well as through this guidebook, you are able to get much of the information and analysis regarding the examination. The previous year questions are also provided with this guidebook, so you can download this guidebook. The link is provided in the description box below. So this is it for today. I hope you have understood the 3 news articles, and do comment down below what are the answers of the homework question. Okay. So thank you very much, and I hope you like this session. So thank you everyone. Have a good day.